Invocation, please.
पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवा अवशिष्यते शांति शांति शांतिः असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विना अवधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
This convocation of the Indian Institute of Technology, Gandhinagar, has been called to confer degrees upon the candidates who have been certified to be worthy of receiving the same. I hereby declare the second convocation open.
Let the candidates for the degree of Master of Technology be presented.
Sir, I present the candidates who, having satisfied the requirements for the degree of Master of Technology in Chemical Engineering, are considered worthy of receiving the same. I recommend that they be admitted to the said degree. Amit Singh. Deepak Babasaheb Jadhav. Gite Hemant Bapurao. Joshi Jignesh Rajendra Kumar. Sayan Kar. Vivek Rasikbhai Popat. Sir, I present the candidates who, having satisfied the requirements for the degree of Master of Technology in Civil Engineering, are considered worthy of receiving the same. I recommend that they be admitted to the said degree. Nidal Raj Bhuria. Shivani Rani. Sir, Satyajit Mukherjee and Umesh Singh are not present here today and request that they may be admitted to the degree of Master of Technology in absentia. They, having satisfied the requirements for the said degree, are considered worthy of it. I recommend that they be admitted to the said degree in absentia.
Of the degree of Master of Technology, please rise.
By virtue of authority vested in me as the Chairman of the Senate of Indian Institute of Technology, Gandhinagar, I do hereby admit each one of you to the degree of Master of Technology in your own discipline and charge you to prove worthy of the same throughout your life.
Degree recipients, please take your seat.
Let the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Technology be presented.
Sir, I present the candidates who, having satisfied the requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Technology in Chemical Engineering with or without honors, with or without minors in other disciplines, as the case be, are considered worthy of receiving the same. I recommend that they be admitted to the said degree. Patel Parth Mahendra Kumar. Shruti Jain. Divya Bansal. Garima Raghuvanshi. Rahul Pancholi. Vishwen Joshi. Gupta Adit Sunil. Mohit Verma. Gaurav Rathore. Nirav Indrajit Gadvi. Shri Prakash Gupta. Ved Prakash Sahu. Monica Yadav. Chintala Naga Venkata Ravi Teja. Chekumuki Venkata Himateja. Pooja Atwal. Nagender Singh. Tarun Verma. Ravi Kumar. Sushant Kumar Suman. Divyang Singh. Shankla Narya. Sir, I present the candidates who, having satisfied the requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Technology in Electrical Engineering with or without honors, with or without minors in other disciplines, as the case be, are considered worthy of receiving the same. I recommend that they be admitted to the said degree. Aditi Dighe. Parekh Niral Pankaj. Jeshnani Rahul Kamlesh. Babur Abhilash Chaudhary. Mohit Malu. Tarkeshwar Singh. Ekta Prashnani. Pratik Shashank Thakkar. Shubham Agarwal. Akshay Dilip Navlakha. Pritish Jain. Dhruv Rasesh Chauksy. Saten Singh Jadon. Vipul Goyal. Parth M. Shah. Pritesh Rajnikant Sankhe. Saurya Prakash Sinha. Nafre Sasang Pramod. Kislay Pankaj. Ullamgunta Revant Venkata Sandeep. Bajranglal Chaudhary. Kishan Suthar. Siddharth Gora. Jadala Karthik. Jyoti Pranami. Suraj Kumar Sonkar. Piyush Arun Meshram. Subhash Kunche. Ankita Gupta. Narendranath Balasubramani. Nasina Lalita Pragna. Shubham Ranka. Janil Pankaj Parekh. Saeed Aisha. Sir, I present the candidates who, having satisfied the requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Technology in Mechanical Engineering with or without honors, with or without minors in other disciplines, as the case be, are considered worthy of receiving the same. I recommend that they be admitted to the said degree. Shah Yash Mayur Bhai. Ajinkya P. Dahale. Vishnu Vijay. Rajat Jain. Abhijit Rajiv. Gaurav Dubey. Shashank Pandey. B. Abhishek Sharma. Cheruvu Siddhartha. Tarun Rai. Ravi Agarwal. Himanshu M. Devangan. Shyamal Kishore. Sunil Patidar. Dande Chetan Sunil. Hari Krishnan CB. Shubham Chauhan. Mahadasyam Chaitanya Rajiv. Babu Lal. M. Rudra Prasad. Prashant Patel. Deep Dinesh Kumar. Dayama Dipesh Om Prakash. Bhavin D. Chauhan. Ajesh R. Kaustubh Tirpude. Sripada R.G. Krishna Teja. Rohit Choksi. Shreyash Vaidya. Abhilash Patel. Rushiket Patil. Mohak Patel. Sir, some of the candidates are not present here today and request that they may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Technology with or without honors in their own disciplines, with or without minor in other disciplines, as the case be, in absentia. Each having satisfied the requirements for the said degree is considered worthy of it. I recommend that each of them be admitted to the said degree in absentia. Shushmita Purnima Kotu, Shalini Kabadya, Sanjay Kumar Meena, Amrela Girdhar, Shubham Gupta, Shashank Shivhare, Joshi Chetas, Devesh Kumar, Dasari Sumiteja, Suresh Ramaswamy, Shah Pratham Sunil, Varun Kumar Gupta.
All the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Technology, please rise.
By the virtue of authority vested in me as the Chairman of the Senate of Indian Institute of Technology, Gandhinagar, I do hereby admit each one of you to the degree of Bachelor of Technology with or without honors in your own discipline, with or without minors in other disciplines, as the case may be, and charge you to prove worthy of the same throughout your life.
Degree recipients, please be seated.
Let the records of the degree recipients be presented to the Chairman Board of Governors for his signatures. Let the candidates for various medals and awards be presented to the Chairman Board of Governors.
Sir, I present the candidate who has been declared winner of the President's Gold Medal for securing the highest CPI among all BTech students of the graduating batch, Shruti Jain, Chemical Engineering. Sir, I present the candidate who has been declared winner of the President's Gold Medal for securing the highest CPI among all MTech students of the graduating batch, Shivani Rani, Civil Engineering. Sir, I present the candidates who have been declared winners of the Institute Gold Medal for securing the highest CPI among all the BTech students of the graduating batch in their respective disciplines. Shruti Jain, Chemical Engineering. Vipul Goyal, Electrical Engineering. Rohit Choksi, Mechanical Engineering. Sir, I present the candidates who have been declared winners of the Institute Gold Medal for securing the highest CPI among the MTech students of the graduating batch in their respective disciplines. Vivek Rasikbhai Popat, Chemical Engineering. Shivani Rani, Civil Engineering. Sir, I present the candidates who have been declared winners of the Institute Silver Medal for securing the second highest CPI among all the BTech students of the graduating batch in their respective disciplines. Shalini Kawadia, Chemical Engineering. She is absent. Narendranath Balasubramani, Electrical Engineering. Mohak Patel, Mechanical Engineering. Sir, I present the candidate who has been declared winner of the Director's Gold Medal for the outstanding overall performance among all the BTech students of the graduating batch. Tarkeshwar Singh, Electrical Engineering. Sir, I present the candidates who have been declared winners of the Director's Silver Medal for the outstanding overall performance among the BTech students of the graduating batch in their respective disciplines. Gupta Adit Sunil, Chemical Engineering. Aditi Dige, Electrical Engineering. Mohak Patel, Mechanical Engineering. Sir, I present the candidates who have been declared winners of various awards. Gupta Adit Sunil, Award for Outstanding Innovation. Monika Yadav, Award for Outstanding Social Service. Aditi Dige, Award for Integrity and Exemplary Human Qualities. Sushmita Purnima Kottu, Award for Outstanding Research. She is absent. Shivani Rani, Award for Outstanding Performance in Sports. Vrishikesh Patil, Award for Outstanding Performance in Aquatics. Joshi Chedas Divesh Kumar, Award for Outstanding Performance in Indoor Sports. He is absent. Shangala Narya, Award for Outstanding Performance in Arts and Culture. Shashank Pandey, Pioneer Batch Award for Outstanding Leadership. Jainil Pankaj Parik, Award for Best Performance in Core Courses in Engineering Graphics, Manufacturing and Workshop Practice. Subhash Kunje, Award for the Best Performance in Core Courses in Mathematics. Vipul Goyal, Award for Best Performance in Core Courses in Physics and Chemistry. Shruti Jain, Award for Best Performance in Core Courses in Humanities and Social Sciences. Monica Yadav, Award for the Best Overall Performance in Humanities and Social Sciences subjects.
The winner of President's Gold Medal, Shruti Jain, will now administer oath to all degree recipients. All degree recipients, please rise.
I, Shruti Jain, a graduate of Indian Institute of Technology, Gandhinagar, hereby pledge that I shall always endeavor to be scrupulously honest in the discharge of my duties. I shall utilize my knowledge, experience and skills to the best of my abilities for the service of humanity and for the glory of my nation and the Institute. In all circumstances, I shall uphold the dignity of the individual and the ethics and integrity of my profession.
Please be seated.
Honorable Chairman Board of Governors of IIT Gandhinagar, Dr. Baldev Raj, distinguished Chief Guest, Honorable Dr. Anil Kakodkar, former Chairman, Atomic Energy Commission, and Secretary, Department of Atomic Energy, members of the Board of Governors, members of the Senate, faculty, staff, and members of the Institute, invited dignitaries and guests, graduating students and their families, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I extend the most cordial and hearty welcome to each one of you on the occasion of the second convocation of this institute. I am particularly happy to welcome Dr. Anil Kakodkar, who has played a key role in establishment of this institute in his capacity as Chairman of the Board of Governors of IIT Bombay. Under his visionary leadership, IIT Bombay had laid a very strong foundation of IIT Gandhinagar by the time I joined this institute. In the early days, before our own board was constituted, I had an opportunity to work with him closely, and I very much cherish my association with him. He continues to display enormous affection and support for this institute over the years, and his presence here is always inspiring and energizing. We are immensely grateful to you, Dr. Kakodkar, for accepting our invitation, and we are honored by your gracious presence in our midst today. Today's convocation is unique in one respect. Besides our second graduating batch of BTech, the first MTech batch of the institute is receiving degrees. In the next 15 to 20 minutes, let me present brief highlights of the institute since the last convocation. The institute has just completed 5 years of existence, and on August 2nd this year, we celebrated its 6th birthday. While the first 3 years may be considered as the years of formation of IIT Gandhinagar, the last 2 years were years of consolidation. The institute is developing at a very rapid and frantic pace thanks to the tremendous energy and vitality of our young faculty, staff, and students. Numerous visitors speak of the urgency they smell in the air and the enthusiasm that they experience in the community. We took possession of the land for our permanent campus in July last year, and through a very innovative, collaborative, and consultative process, developed our construction plans. Within a year of acquiring the land, we have awarded 3 major construction contracts for apartments, hostels, and academic buildings. This has been possible due to the tremendous commitment and hard work of our consultants and the engineering team of CPWD and IIT Gandhinagar. We expect to build a very unique campus that will encourage interaction and that will require minimal energy consumption and maintenance. During the past 5 years, the institute has made tremendous progress, and we can take rightful pride in some of those innovations in curriculum and the education IIT Gandhinagar provides to its students. Innovation in faculty recruitment and governance, disciplinary diversity, including integration of humanities and social sciences within the overall academic culture of the institute. And finally, philanthropic fundraising and its innovative application in promoting excellence. We are particularly proud of our unique curricula, and I'm happy to report that the institute received the World Education Award 2013 for its innovative BTech program at the World Education Summit in New Delhi this year. This year we launched 4-year BTech in civil engineering, 2-year MSc in chemistry, mathematics, and cognitive science. We plan to launch 4-year BTech in materials science and engineering, 2-year MSc in physics, and 2-year MA in society and culture next year. Peer-assisted learning was launched in October 2012 to support first-year students having difficulty with English as medium of instruction. During the summer of 2013, almost 1/3 of our undergraduate students, 148 to be specific, undertook internships in universities, research institutes, and industries. Of these, 27 students interned at universities overseas, such as California Institute of Technology, Duke, Syracuse, Washington, and Notre Dame. The extraordinary educational experience that the institute provides to its students can be gauged from the fact that of the BTech students that are graduating today, more than 1/3 have received international educational experience through participation in overseas internships, participation in conferences, and other academic activities. In fact, some of the graduating students today have availed 3 or even 4 such opportunities during their 4-year stay at the institute. 3 of the graduating students today, Ekta Prashnani, Adit Gupta, and Tarkeshwar Singh, have filed patents based on their summer internships, and number of other undergraduates graduating today have scientific publications to their credit already. Our efforts to attract the very best postgraduate students to the institute are also yielding extraordinary successes. This year, we received more than 8,000 applications for PhD and more than 19,000 applications for MTech admissions. As a result, our postgraduate admissions this year were almost 4 times more competitive than the BTech admissions through the joint entrance examination. The institute places great emphasis on research at all levels, ranging from undergraduates to the faculty, and some of our focal areas in research have now started to emerge. During the past year, our Board of Governors approved the establishment of several centers of excellence. These are in the areas of safety, design and innovation, biomedical engineering, and archaeological sciences. The Underwriters Laboratory stepped forward to support the Safety Center. RICO Company Limited is supporting the Design and Innovation Center, and the Biomedical Engineering Center is being supported by the Government of Gujarat. A major international conference on safety was organized by the Institute during the year, enabling us to host numerous eminent experts from India and overseas and to develop collaborations. Several brainstorming workshops enabled us to develop our vision and the roadmap for disciplines such as archaeological sciences, earth sciences, cognitive science, public health, humanities and social sciences in engineering education, design and innovation, and biomedical engineering. The breadth of research focus has percolated to our undergraduates, 152 of whom participated in this year's research contest sponsored by the Underwriters Laboratories to develop an electrical vehicle platform with the aim of better understanding safety challenges for electrical vehicles in Indian conditions. 15 of our students participated in a design competition we organized in collaboration with the Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation and how to make Ahmedabad a litter-free city. The winners of this competition were Adit Gupta, Mohak Patel, and Tarkeshwar Singh. Nearly 30 students from 20 different institutions, in addition to 60 IIT Gandhinagar undergraduates, carried out research at the institute this summer under our Summer Research Internship Program. The institute faculty are attracting significant external funds in the form of sponsored research and consulting. With only 56 career faculty in the institute, we currently have 35 ongoing sponsored research projects. During the last 1 year, about 16 major sponsored research projects with total funding of nearly 5.5 crores and another 10 consulting projects valued at about 1.3 crores were sanctioned. The institute established an incubation center in last 1 year, which is presently incubating Grid Ants, a startup company launched by 4 graduates of our pioneer batch, Mr. Sarthak Jain, Prathamesh Juwatkar, Prashant Borde, and Nithin Kumar. Building strong relationships with the external world, including universities in India and overseas, is an important agenda for the institute. Several such partnerships have now become vibrant and active, including those with California Institute of Technology, Underwriters Laboratories, RICO Company, University of Washington, Seattle, Washington University, St. Louis, University of Saskatchewan in Canada. A significant element of IIT Gandhinagar's agenda of excellence depends on the availability of substantial philanthropic funds, and the institute has been singularly fortunate in this respect as well. We not only continue to enjoy the confidence of our earlier donors, but have also added new donors this year, including Professor A.V. Anil Kumar and Shri Ukabhai Solanki. Besides, 3 corporations have contributed significant discretionary funds. These are Gujarat Minerals Development Corporation, Underwriters Laboratories, and RICO Company Limited. The faculty is the backbone of any research university, and if there is one thing that truly amazes our well-wishers about the institute, It is the quality and commitment of our faculty and our staff. During the year, we recruited exceptional faculty candidates in diverse disciplines, including some at the mid-career level. In addition, we had a number of distinguished academics from around the world join us as either visiting professors or as scholars in residence. Today, the institute has nearly 75 faculty, of which 56 are career faculty. Our colleagues received a number of awards and honors, of which I'll mention only a few. Dr. Sudhanshu Sharma and Dr. Shivpriya Kirubakaran has been awarded Ramanujan Fellowship, and Dr. Nitin George received the Inspire Faculty Award from the Department of Science and Technology, while Dr. Uttama Lahiri was awarded Dr. C.V. Raman Young Teachers Excellence Award for 2012. The institute has set up several excellence awards for faculty and staff. Dr. Amit Prashant was selected for Excellence Award in Institution Building for the year 2012. Staff Excellence Awards for 2012 were handed over by Shri Azim Premji during his visit to the institute in December 2012 to Shri Piyush Majumdar, Shri Sanjeev Pandey, Shri Ankur Navdiwala, and Shri Bhigubai Patel. Our students are actively engaged in numerous activities outside the classroom as well. Amalthea, the annual technical summit this year, focused on safety and on automobile engineering. Our cultural festival, Blitzkron, was attended by 19,000 visitors. We hosted Avant-Garde, a visual imagery conference cum workshop on photography and cinematography. The 2013 edition of our 10-day, all-night, intra-institute sport event, Halla Bowl, fielded 400 matches involving 2,400 participants. Our students performed exceedingly well this year, winning prizes in sports events. Just to mention the prominent ones, Ronak Mehta and Akshay Randed, both second-year mechanical engineering, have been selected for the GE Foundation Scholar Leaders Program. At the 48th Inter-IIT Aquatic Meet 2012, Parth Sane Biswas won 1 gold medal, 2 silver medals, and a bronze medal, while Animesh Kumawat won 2 silver medals and a bronze medal. The result of this was that IIT Gandhinagar team secured 4th rank among the 13 participating IITs. And ladies and gentlemen, this is when IIT Gandhinagar is yet to have its own swimming pool. At the 48th Inter-IIT Sports Meet 2012, Shivani Rani won the gold medal in discus throw. With a new Inter-IIT Sports Meet record, she also won a silver medal in the javelin throw. We continue to excel in placement records. Our graduating students of 104 BTech students, 17 are planning higher studies, 11 in the US universities such as Carnegie Mellon, Brown, Texas Austin, while 6 will study within India in institutions such as IITs, IIMs, NID, and Tata Institute of Social Science. Numerous reputed companies such as National Instruments, Honda, Ricoh Innovations have recruited our students through campus placement. Ladies and gentlemen, proud as we are of where we stand today, we are equally mindful that much remains to be done to achieve our ambition of becoming one of the top-rated universities in the world. We must ramp up our research infrastructure and research output. We must scale up our philanthropic fundraising and develop a large endowment fund. We must firmly embed our culture of excellence, research and scholarship, and our core values of impeccable integrity in all aspects of institute management. We must develop leadership that will sustain the current momentum for the decades ahead, and we must internationalize the institute. Few people get the opportunity of getting to build a new university, and therefore, every stakeholder of IIT Gandhinagar carries with him or her a great responsibility to do things just right, to ensure that future generations of students and scholars will get truly top-class education and research opportunities, and to ensure that IIT Gandhinagar will become a fountainhead of solutions for the challenges facing society. India deserves a great university with an international stature akin to that Nalanda and Takshila held many centuries ago, and IIT Gandhinagar aspires to be that great Indian university of the 21st century. Our country, where a sizable population is deprived of the basic necessities of life, cannot afford aspirations that are any lower, nor if our actions fail to live up to those lofty expectations. My dear graduating students, I extend my heartiest congratulations to the graduating BTech class of 2013 and the first batch of MTech students, and to all those students who have won medals and awards today. I also congratulate your parents who silently sacrificed so that you could succeed in your endeavors. Years of patience, support, and the love of your parents and families have contributed immensely to your success today. Some of you no doubt came to IIT Gandhinagar with a regret in your heart for not being able to make it to an old IIT. Today, you graduate with tremendous satisfaction that you came here, that you got to do things that you may not have done elsewhere, and that you experienced the tremendous warmth and affection of the entire IIT Gandhinagar community. But equally importantly, you became an important player and a participant in taking this, one of the new IITs, towards the goal of becoming the most innovative IIT in this historical journey of IIT Gandhinagar's pursuit of becoming a great university. Just like you, I too came to the institute with dreams in my eyes, along with certain fears, apprehensions, and skepticism. After all, the creation of 8 new IITs at one stroke was an unprecedented event in our country, and we had no idea where it may lead us. Soon, both you and I gained confidence, and we both started to work with moving targets. And today, we look back with wonder and surprise. Wow, did we ever imagine that IIT Gandhinagar could become what it has become? I'm sure that many years down the line, you will look back on your time at the institute as one full of growth, learning, excitement, and adventure. I admire you for your great accomplishments during your time at the institute. You are destined to bring cheer, hope, and joy to millions of our countrymen who invested huge resources for your education in the expectation that you will contribute to the solutions to India's seemingly intractable problems. I, on my own personal behalf, and on behalf of all your teachers and fellow students, wish you the very best in your endeavors. We shall relish and enjoy your successes and accomplishments in life. While you move out to the big world awaiting you outside the institute, do not forget our joint historical mission to create a great university that all of us can be proud of in the years ahead. Do not forget that you have the greatest possible stake in the future of this institute, since you will always be known as graduate of IIT Gandhinagar, and that your alma mater expects you to nurture it and support it in the years ahead and as you grow. You get only one life to live, my friends, and it does not have a rewind button. I wish you the courage and the wisdom to handle life as it unfolds for you. God bless you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Jai Hind.
I stand before you with great pleasure and as a matter of honor to be the Chairman Board of Governors of IIT Gandhinagar. You heard from Professor Sudhir Jain the path of innovation and excellence which IIT Gandhinagar has charted. The delight is all the more that we have the chief guest Dr. Anil Kakodkar, former chairman, Atomic Energy Commission, and a distinguished son of the soil who is sensitive to the country, who is sensitive to the security of the country, who is sensitive to young colleagues, and truly practices excellence with relevance. It's also a great honor that we have good faculty to start with the institute. After a lot of deliberations, if you ask somebody to say the least and summarize what makes the great institute, it's the faculty. You ask him next, is it possible only with faculty to make a great institute? They'd say no. You need great leader. You say, oh, that's all right. Can I make a great institute with a good faculty and a good leader? No, no. Unless you have great students, you can't make the great institute. I think in IIT Gandhinagar, we are very fortunate that we have a good leader. We have faculty. Each one of us has been very conscious that the faculty selection should be done very carefully, and only those who are committed to education, research and teaching, and who can nurture young boys and girls and young minds should be selected. And of course, IITs are known to get the best students, so our journey is all right. But then you have to dream. When you have to dream, the dream starts with you. But dream requires many stakeholders. Mahatma Gandhi or Vivekananda or Vikram Sarabhai would not have realized the dream if many stakeholders would not have joined. What gives me great delight is also that the Board of Governors, a very distinguished Board of Governors, my colleagues, they are in synergy with the director and the faculty and the students. We are not two entities. We work with extreme sensitivity to each other, but also we are critic of each other to see that what we have promised as the path of excellence is realized, is appreciated by the others, becomes a landmark. Let me come back to my prepared speech because I wandered a little bit before I started looking at the speech. So let me look down on my papers and see what I've written. I wanted to recall my association with Dr. Anil Kakodkar. I worked for many years with him, but the last 10 years of my career, I worked very closely. And it was one of the big challenges that we had to realize the fast breeder reactor and the associated fuel cycle. Very few countries have done, and India has decided that to have the energy sustainability and to utilize our large thorium resources, we must make a success. But with the guidance and with the mentorship of Dr. Anil Kakodkar, we not only realize those goals, we are acknowledged as the world leaders in this very, very challenging technology. So while the word says we are the leaders, I think Dr. Anil Kakodkar and me know that we have to wait for the criticality of the prototype fast breeder reactor. We have to see that it works well for 5 years, while our parameters of our competence and capabilities may be very high. The world may respect it, but we have to deliver the tangible results. Every occasion I went to Dr. Anil Kakodkar was a mentorship, happiness, and a pleasure. And every time I see him, I feel encouraged. So I feel delighted that he is here in IIT Gandhinagar, and he'd inspire the students, the faculty, and all of us. While in Ahmedabad, it is very appropriate to talk about Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. In fact, the second convocation of IIT Gandhinagar is very well placed. Today is 11th of August. We are having a second convocation. 10th of August, the nuclear reactor, one of the most difficult kind of a reactors the world makes is for the submarine. It has many additional criteria in addition to the reactors which are on the land. And that indigenous reactor went critical yesterday, you would have seen it. And is the 11th well sandwiched? Yes. 12th August 1919, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai was born in Ahmedabad. Now, why we should remember Dr. Vikram Sarabhai? Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, a cosmic physicist, was a social engineer at heart. His sensitivity to the society was unparalleled. Those who have met him and talked about him have talked about his culture, his fine arts, his elegance, his penetrating intelligence. And we talk about IIT saying that we want to produce leaders. I would come to that in a few minutes as to why we want to produce leaders. And what was the perception of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai of a leader? Dr. Vikram Sarabhai produced and nurtured many institutes. In his lifetime itself, those institutes, just like IIT Gandhinagar, in 5 years, is considered as an emerging, excellent educational and research institute. Similarly, the institutes which Dr. Vikram Sarabhai created in Ahmedabad, they all became ahead of times and great institutes. We know of Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. We know that he was not a textile person, but his family had a textile and pharmaceutical business. He created the Association of Industries for Research in Textiles. And textiles are doing well because of a single thought of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. He realized that India for the masses, if it has to produce pharmaceutical, the processes, the data, and quality would be very important. He produced a very unique organization in Ahmedabad. He produced, of course, Physical Research Lab, Department of Space, Electronics Corporation of India, and many other things owe it to Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. But let me say what was his perception of a leader. He said, quote, "There is no leader and there are no led. A leader, if one chooses to identify one, has to be a cultivator rather than a manufacturer. He has to provide the soil and the overall climate and the environment in which the seed can grow. One wants permissive individuals who do not have a compelling need to reassure themselves that they are leaders." Unquote. I think today, when the country is divided into two, extremely optimistic that we'd be one among the first few countries and we'd emerge so. Rightly so, this optimism is right. But disillusionment that 40% of our people have no access to the energy, water, to the nutritious food, to the good education, and the worst still, even the capacity to dream. You need minimum to capacity to dream. There are some people in this country who don't even dare to dream because what do they dream? The life doesn't allow them to dream. We need leaders. I think the world and the country has been changed by a few. We may say that we have a population of 1.2 billion persons, but the country would be changed by a few. Does IIT Gandhinagar can dream and can rightfully think that we have nurtured these young minds that would become leaders of the magnitude which we talk, which would solve these problems and make the country great, so that we have no disillusionment, but a confidence that we have a secure country which is providing equity, which works with ethics, and which also brings opportunities to all, and also does great things which other countries emulate. I believe I believe more and more I get associated with IIT Gandhinagar, more and more believe, yes, 10 years, 20 years down the line, we have the people who would possibly change the country. And we'd be delighted to see a few of you get to those kind of heights. I was just studying last week the statistics. Whether you take the Nobel Prizes, whether you take the individual achievements, something happens in the age group of 30 to 40 when you achieve something very significant in life. You prepare for your life till about 30 years. In fact, most of the Nobel laureates have attributed the seeds of their work when they were about 30, 28, 32, 34. I think the graduating students and the postgraduate students who are getting the degrees and the awards today, they are in 21, 22, 24. You have to continue to consolidate yourselves, to learn, continues to challenge, and then don't wait till you occupy some designations. Designations and awards would come. You don't have to worry for that. But I think you have to do something very substantial in the next 5 to 10 years. And I think that would propel you, that would motivate you throughout your life. The Institute, right from the campus, is thinking of a very creative campus, taking the concepts, as Dr. Sudhir Jain mentioned, from Nalanda and Takshila, providing where most of the learning would happen in the streets over a cup of coffee or tea or during gossip. Learning would also happen in schools and in the schools of excellence and in the labs and also in the classroom. It's a very unique campus, a green campus. For the students, everything is for the students. So how to create a creative environment, how to combine humanities, how to combine sense of social responsibility, how to combine a duty for the country, how to create a love for the motherland is all very important. You imagine that about 50 people, which we remember in this country, had decided to go out of the country and make a career somewhere else. Would not the country have been extremely poor because of not availability of these persons? I think it is our commitment, our mother. When you say mother, your love for mother is always more than the Queen of Elizabeth. Your mother may be poor, your mother may be challenging, but I think you can't take away the love for your mother. I think we all have a commitment to our mother, that is Mother India. And you must commit to that. I'm not saying to you, don't go abroad, don't have experiences, don't learn from the world. Please no. I myself benefited by great interactions all over the world and spending a significant time abroad. But I think the mother must pull you. You must serve the country some way or the other. So I strongly urge you that you please remember the poorest of the poor in this country, and you remember the challenges of this country and harness your all competence and capability to be able to do that. We are also very conscious that faculty have number of opportunities to make a career. IIT Gandhinagar is not the only place of excellence. There are many places of excellence in this country. So what we can do to the faculty to make it less bureaucratic, still within the rules, stretch ourselves, our imagination to be not bureaucratic, how to provide them to realize the dreams of research and teaching according to their perspective, how to give them the opportunities to interact with the best. I think all these are very easy to say, but you are never satisfied. When you are put the responsibility of realizing that and you have seen the word, these are not easy things. If you want to have these as slogans, these are easy. But when you want to realize that, they are very, very difficult. But I think we are all committed, right from the students to the faculty to the students. Let me come back to one part of a speech, which in my recent capacity as the incoming president of the International Council of the Academies of Engineering and Technological Sciences, we are concentrating on. After a lot of deliberation, we said, what should the International Councils of Academies of Engineering should discuss. And the top of that emerged after deliberation is engineering education. Engineering education, what should be the education for the young minds to prepare them as future engineers? It is well known that future cannot be predicted, but future can be mastered. You can prepare yourself to master the future, and you can shape the future, and you can structure the future. So how do you prepare the young minds who would shape the future? A few very prominent things when we shared the experiences from all over the world came was that the future engineer would have to be multidisciplinary. While we know that engineering is a bridge between science and technology, they should be good in science, they should be good in humanities, they should be cultured, they should think globally, they should act locally, they must make a difference to wherever they are, but they must think globally. They must realize the importance of the knowledge, new ways of learning, and then they must be having a mind which says that the degree is the beginning. Degree is the beginning of the learning, and that is only enabling you to achieve. It is not something you have achieved very significant and now your life is made. No. Your real challenge has started now. Your parents might have told you that, oh, once you get into IIT, your future is made. No, no, no. You have got a degree, your future is made. Somebody may say, no. But really successful ones, you would see that those who start their journey on the consolidation which has been achieved now. Second aspect which comes from the engineering education very clearly is that the future engineers would have very complex problems to solve, be it in healthcare, be it in energy, water, nutritious food, climate change, and things like that. So they must have a very logical mind and out-of-box thinking to think something which others have not thought. If the things were so linear, these challenges would not have been there. They would have been solved. The very fact that these challenges are not solved, that means these challenges need a different kind of mind. So engineers have a responsibility. And also, we all reflected and found that the bridge between the science, technology should go. We should not think that we are better placed to solve the problem, and politicians, bureaucrats, and business people have no role in that. Successes are achieved when you work with all the stakeholders. Politicians are important, bureaucrats are important, media is important, we are important, and finance people are important. We have to work together. So never create a barrier in your mind, then only you would be able to succeed. We may not be good in everything, but we can work in a team, and we need not live like a caveman who lived with the shadow and thought that he has to always fight with the shadow. I think we have long evolved from the caveman, and we must work in a team and realize the solutions to the challenges. So I must say, in the end, that we are delighted to be a part of this journey of excellence. The initiatives are being taken expeditiously but carefully, and we all are looking very much to the inputs which help us to take better decisions. While we say that in a decade or so, we'd be one among the top, not only in India and the world, we know that it's a difficult journey. We know that we need to do hard work. We need to involve more and more elegant and competent people to do that. Finally, for the students, this day belongs to you. So we wish you the very best. My advice to you would be that remember your parents, particularly your mother. You can't pay even for one day. The mother kept you in the belly to bring you out into the world. You can't pay for the one night of a mother when she was sleeping on a wet linen and she was keeping you on a dry linen so that you can speak comfortably. Don't forget your mother. They have dreamt for you. They have sacrificed for you. Don't forget your teachers. They have given you abundance of love. They have sometimes sacrificed spending time with their own children, but given time to you to nurture you. Don't forget the institute, because the institute would be made what you would be doing when you go into the real world. Don't forget your country, because your country needs you the most. I wish you the very best. I wish that you would dream, you would continue to improve your dream, and then you would make all of us proud. I have a very, very pleasant duty to introduce Dr. Anil Kakodkar before he comes and gives his speech. Dr. Anil Kakodkar is icon. Once you say a legend and icon, normally we say they don't need introduction. Truly speaking, I should not be introducing Dr. Anil Kakodkar. But I think there are formal occasions when you forget all these things and you believe that you are duty bound to do the thing which you have been asked to do. So let me say that Dr. Anil Kakodkar's biodata can never define the human values and the excellence of Dr. Anil Kakodkar. And I'd like you to read about him in my speech, where the last page is Dr. Anil Kakodkar, and the convocation booklet where Dr. Anil Kakodkar is there. But this country would have been much poorer if Dr. Anil Kakodkar was not born in this country and had not decided to spend every second of his life thinking about the country and doing something for the country. We are proud of you, sir, and we look forward to hear from you. Thank you very much.
Dr. Baldev Raj, Chairman, Board of Governors, IIT Gandhinagar, Professor Sudhir Jain, Director, IIT Gandhinagar, distinguished members of the Board of Governors of IIT Gandhinagar, members of Senate, other members of faculty, dear students, particularly those who are graduating today. I believe some of your parents and family members are present. You have made a lot of sacrifices in getting your wards to move up the ladder of excellence through a program here at IIT Gandhinagar. Members of staff of IIT Gandhinagar, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. I wish to begin by expressing gratitude to Dr. Baldev Raj, Professor Sudhir Jain, and indeed all authorities of IIT Gandhinagar for inviting me to this convocation of IIT Gandhinagar. IIT Gandhinagar is among the new IITs that were set up to strengthen India's technological capabilities that are so essential for India's march ahead in today's highly competitive and interconnected world. Given the present situation of higher technological education in our country, that is largely characterized by little research in engineering and technology, particularly for a country as large as India, as well as the large output of engineering graduates with questionable quality, IITs have the challenge to lead the way for nation's efforts to create a paradigm shift in terms of both the capability to usher a domestic technology-enabled national development, as also to enhance the number of high quality engineers and researchers to support nation building through cutting edge research that solves difficult problems through affordable and effective solutions. I am aware of the efforts to shape IIT Gandhinagar as a special place that would further such objectives. So I would first like to compliment everyone associated with IIT Gandhinagar, which has already started making a mark in the context of the above paradigm. Convocation is a special day in the calendar of an institution of learning. It marks the culmination of a phase of learning, and after having satisfied that the student is now ready to face and contribute to the world at large as a worthy professional in the chosen domain of learning and training, the teachers and other elders give the final advice and blessings for further journey that the student is embarking upon. It is a solemn occasion for students and also the teachers. The bond between teachers and students that is supposed to have been built through years of mentoring brings in an emotional content to the convocation day. I wish to use this occasion to thank the faculty who in their own way have contributed to shaping the young minds while they have been here at this institution. My congratulations to students who are graduating today. Some of you who are being specially recognized deserve our highest appreciation. All of you have gone through your respective courses of studies and have been adjudged to be worthy of the degrees that have been awarded to you. You are now ready to face the exciting world out there. As an engineer or a technologist, you have to be an important part of nation building process through your respective capabilities that you have acquired. Today, there is ample scope for innovation and entrepreneurship. The way our country is evolving, the opportunities for the capable ones would continuously expand. I wish all of you graduating today a very successful career ahead. May all your dreams be fully realized. We Indians have a great heritage. India was a premier country in the world till about 5 or 6 centuries ago. We had great universities, and Professor Sudhir Jain and Dr. Baldev Raj both mentioned about it, and centers of learning that attracted scholars from many parts of the world. We have our time-tested value system. After a long period of oppression and foreign rule, India is now bouncing back. Democracy has taken roots in independent India. We have an unparalleled demographic advantage with the largest youth force. Indian youth have demonstrated their capabilities through their impact both in technological as well as in economic terms. Here in India as well as in countries abroad, for example, the USA. The world is now highly interconnected, and A3, anyone, anywhere, and any time, the A3 connected society is fast taking shape. We are fast embracing knowledge-driven economy worldwide. Technology is changing our lives faster than we would have imagined. We need to be conscious about the impact of these rather rapid transitions around us. We need to prepare our societies to benefit from these transitions while preventing their ill effects. opportunities and threats created by increasingly competitive interconnected world, the potential for greater disparities if the policies are not managed well, and the threats to time-tested Indian value system are some of the major challenges before our society today. While there are many drivers to this evolving situation in our country, we must acknowledge that apart from people who engage themselves in mass movements at different times, a very large number of individuals have made key contributions to shaping the evolution in a healthy manner and in the right direction through their wisdom, sustained work, and passionate contributions. For example, there have been people who pursued mathematics and astronomy and made new discoveries ahead of others. Others pursued social reforms in spite of several odds. Then we have had far-sighted pioneers who established key industries within the country in much adverse circumstances. We need such people in large numbers who can guide and shape the society as it evolves through knowledge and technology-driven transitions on one side and rapid mixing of cultures driven by instant communications that take place today on the other. Such people, through their research and analysis, can present an authentic assessment of the transitions around, create innovative approaches to maximize the gains and minimize threats, and prepare our youth with capability to effectively deal with the evolving situation. The very fact that Indian traditions and culture has survived through centuries of external influence gives us the hope about our societies responding correctly to the changing paradigm. Institutions of learning have a very special role in this regard. This is even more important in case of technology institutions in today's context. All of us have the opportunity to be a part of such people, both by ourselves as well as through the students whom we teach and mentor. Through our teaching, we should be at the frontiers of knowledge. Through our research, we should push the frontiers of knowledge. Through development of technologies at the cutting edge, and through nurturing a spirit of innovation and entrepreneurship with strong commitment to our time-tested value system, we have the opportunity to be an important part of people who can shape the destiny of our nation. At our IITs, we have the possibility of creating a holistic learning environment that could be a fertile ground for the nation building in today's context. We all must resolve to make that happen through our respective pursuits of scholarship, research, and engagement with the society and industry around. New IITs have a special advantage and opportunity in this regard. Let us look at today in this backdrop. We are in a way passing through a critical phase in our country. Are we well prepared for this transformation? How are we to respond proactively to the emerging situation? You will all agree with me that quality education that prepares our young people to embrace the changing scenario would be the key to success in this regard. Then there is the all-important question of availability of access to quality education for everyone. While future holds great potential, if we are able to manage the challenge of providing quality education to all, there are serious threats on the horizon if we are not able to do so quickly. Our large youth force must be provided with opportunities for constructive engagement in a manner that fulfills their aspirations. There is a need for some urgent action in this regard, as otherwise this powerful engine of growth and development could well turn into a major destructive force. Engineering and technical education institutions, and more importantly, the teachers in such institutions, have a special role and responsibility. Engineering and technology would play a key role in sustaining and enhancing the relative competitive edge of our country. This would become more important as country further moves up on the economic ladder. Such institutions and the faculty must therefore shape young people who can confidently engage themselves with the real life world and make an impact through their engineering, technological, and innovative capabilities. They should be able to do so in today's context, as well as be ready to deal successfully with the emerging change. This task is crucially important to the future of India, as all of us in the engineering and technological institutions have a special role and responsibility in shaping that future. High quality research in our engineering and technological institutions must be emphasized for a variety of reasons. Such research should span a wide spectrum of disciplines ranging from basic sciences and engineering to humanities, economics, and management. Aim of research should be to push frontiers of knowledge as well as to evolve technologies and implement them for development. This would require several dimensions to be incorporated in our research, in the research domain in our institutions. Our research should become comparable to the best in the world. So we should be able to identify individuals and groups who do research that can be compared with the best in the world and specially support them very liberally. We should engage ourselves in some grand challenge activities of importance to the nation. Several faculty would need to come together to address such grand challenges in a coordinated manner. We should have an environment that incubates industrial enterprise, making use of the R&D carried out in our institutions. We should have the presence of industry research on the campus in the form of research parks, where our students and faculty have opportunity to participate. Similarly, there should be presence of our national laboratories engaged in key national programs on our campuses. At another level, our students should be able to participate in these activities as a part of their learning of necessary knowledge at its frontiers, acquiring procedural knowledge in relevant areas as well as relevant skills. In my view, all this would make our education more holistic and also create an ecosystem that nurtures the spirit of innovation that we so desperately need to inculcate in our younger generation. While such enrichment on our campuses is a very desirable feature, we need to bridge a considerable gap in the mutual confidence that exists between our academia and our industry. We need to reach a condition wherein both sides see a win-win situation in collaborating with each other. Considerable credible work is necessary to create confidence on part of either side to invest in other. We need to explore opportunities to work together in a variety of mutually beneficial ways to create conditions of mutual trust and confidence. As we engage with industry, we should also explore opportunities to engage in R&D of relevance to the society. There are many possibilities of technology being brought to bear on societal issues. This is of particular significance in the context of agriculture and rural development. Our students getting exposed to such activities would not only give them a good problem solving experience, but also emotionally bind them with India in true sense. We need to recognize that the above approach invariably would involve interdisciplinary efforts involving science, technology, engineering, medicine, humanities, economics, management, and others, depending on the objective of a particular development effort. Opportunities for students to participate in application of such interdisciplinary efforts to address a particular challenge enables again a holistic learning experience for them. This builds the capability to focus R&D on solving real life problems rather than looking for problems that can be solved through research one is engaged in. Quality of education as well as research improves considerably in the process. By preparing our students to be fully capable and ready to effectively be constructive in emerging A3 connected society, we should perhaps accelerate the pace of inclusive development in an unprecedented manner. I do wish that all of you would give some serious thought to these issues and decide your respective course of action. It should be our collective effort to progressively move towards making the world a better place to live. Through a lifelong learning process and maintaining university, industry, and society interconnected with each other, each one of us, regardless of the career we decide to pursue, can meaningfully contribute to this objective. After all, we are all in this world to play our respective roles. Our happiness and joy of life depends on how well we play our roles. To our students, I would once again wish them well in their respective further pursuits. I am certain they would rise progressively in their respective careers. I do hope that as they rise, they would retain in them a spirit of trusteeship and contribute substantially to their roots, the society around, the institutions that brought them up, and the nation at large. It is the spirit of trusteeship and the desire to support others who were not as fortunate or as successful as us that makes this world a better place. We must remember that our happiness depends on happiness all around us. IIT alumni have a great tradition in this respect. They are contributing in a very significant way to their alma mater. All of you passing out today being the natural leaders for the alumni segment of the stakeholders of this new institution, I am pretty certain that you would discharge that role to shape IIT Gandhinagar in a manner that others may want to emulate. Once again, my best wishes to you all. Thank you.
The music group, please come on the dais to play the national anthem. All are requested to rise, please.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मागे, गाहे तव जय गाथा, जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
All are requested to remain on their seats till the academic procession leaves the hall.
I declare the convocation closed.